Okay, we're here today to show you a little bit about your new 20-gun multi-gun machine. I want to go over the basic components and how some of the adjustments are. We're going to start here. This is called the control side palm button stand. You've got an e-stop and your two palm buttons for initiating the machine. On the opposing side, you've got the left side control button stand. Exact same setup, it's just you've got a left and a right. You've got the P280 welding control. You've got your HMI or human machine interface. This little TV screen is where you're going to turn on and off guns, select transformers, etc. We'll go over that in length. Here on the top right, you have your adjustment wheel. This will rotate and move the back guns further back or farther forward, depending on which direction you rotate it. This is to adjust your tip spacing so that you can move the entire bank of back guns backwards, about 5 inches further back from where they're at right now. Coming across the top, you've got your gun valves. You've got a bank of 10 valves on the right-hand side and a bank of 10 on your left. How these are organized, this bottom regulator is for the right-hand set of guns. The way we've set this up is these two guns are going to fire off one side of the transformer, and the opposing two guns in the back will fire off one side of the transformer. This allows you to make 2 welds from side to side, or 4 welds, 2 from side to side, and 2 directly behind it from side to side. With that in mind, we've given you your pressure to where you can adjust the pressure on the right-hand set of gun or the left-hand set of guns across each board. So on the regulator that says right, it's going to adjust the right-hand gun of these pair, the right-hand gun of this pair, the right-hand gun of this pair, so on and so forth, from left to right, front to back. And then the left side regulator is directly to the left of the right side, and it'll affect this air pressure again for every other gun on the left side bank. Coming all the way across the top, you've got your safety dump valve. This basically strike it exhausts all the air from the system and locks it out at this point. There's a position there where you can actually put in a safety lockout so it can't be re-energized doing service maintenance or anything where you need the air pressure off and someone's going to be in here working. Then just pull it back out. You can hear the system re-energize. Okay, now that you've seen what the safety shutoff can do, again, like I said, it locks it out. The guns themselves are pinned on the base with a 3/8 dowel that allows the guns to keep a straight center line across the front and the back side, 2 separate slots. And to adjust those, you simply loosen up one bolt. There's a T-nut that locks it into position. Then you can slide the gun left to right, and obviously as you change your positioning from left to right, you may have to adjust your cables or the secondary copper pieces to adjust for clearance. We'll go ahead and step around to the other side and I'll show you the connects. Okay, we're now on the left-hand side of the machine. This is where you're going to run your power into this disconnect. It's already got the appropriate fuses in it. It's wired up. We currently, because we didn't know where you're going to run your power in, we haven't popped any holes in the box. There are knockouts all the way around as a standard disconnect box. And we've just ran power into the actual control cabinet itself. So when you get this machine, knock out the appropriate hole, run your power in, and connect to the outboard 2 connections on the line board itself. Down below, you've got a water in, which is marked by the blue water, water out, which is marked by the red water. Down here on the very bottom, you've got a flow sight indicator with a flow switch built into it. So you've got a little rotor that actually will start to spin as water goes through it. Once it gets to the trigger point, a red light will come on the back side of this, letting you know that you've achieved enough water pressure, and that'll also send a signal to the PLC to allow you to weld. If it shows that there is no water flow, first thing to look is for your flow sight indicator to make sure that it is spinning, and if it is, there should be a light on the back side. If the light is not illuminated, then you have insufficient water flow through the machine to continue to run, and we need to find out what the problems are. So air on the top, front is on the disconnect, power here, water in, water out. We'll go around to the back and show you the rest. Okay, we're now on the back side of the machine. You can see the 5 individual transformers and the power cables feeding it. Here in the center, you've got your surge tank, your air filter, and your oiler. This is on the outboard side of the surge tank, so air comes into the tank, out of the tank through the filter, through the oiler, and then into the rest of the air system. You can see your grounding straps on each transformer. Each side of the secondary, you've got your one side of the secondary is grounded to the frame of the transformer all the way across. That's what your grounding straps are for. And here in the control cabinets, this is the wires feeding each of the transformers. Your SCRs are located in this gray cabinet. We'll kind of get in there here in a second. And we'll go ahead and move around to the back side. Okay, we've got the two control cabinets open. Here on the front side, you can see the red dot. Just follow the red dot. You've got your P280 welding control, your step-down transformer for the welding control. You've got two 110 volt AC relays. These are converting the 110 volt signal coming from the control into a 24 volt signal that feeds the PLC. And then you've got two 24 volt DC relays that are taking a signal from the PLC, converting them into a dry contact for the control. Down here on the very bottom, you've got a line noise filter to just filter any line noise coming into the weld control itself. Now we're going to go ahead and move down to the bottom box. Okay, currently just going from left to right, you've got your PLC control. This cable, as it comes out of the PLC, goes to the HMI, which again is the human machine interface. That's where you're going to be entering your information. You've got a Micrologix 1200 and then a daughter card, which is a 16 output DC relay card. You've got the dry contact relays. They're 24 volt coils that are taking the signal from the PLC to actually allow the signal to go to the appropriate firing card. That's these 5 cards here on the bottom. Those are what turns on each of the individual SCRs. You'll notice above each one you're labeled PT401. This is SCR1, and that goes to transformer number 1. PT402 for SCR number 2, which goes to transformer 2 all the way across the board to number 5. Now you notice down here we've got L1 and L2 marked. This is where we've hooked in our power, but for your purposes you'll hook in power to the disconnect box and they come to this location. Since we didn't want to knock a hole that you may not need into your disconnect, we just ran it straight to this location. And then finally up here on the side you've got the step-down transformer that provides power to the 24 volt DC power supply, which in turn powers the valves, the HMI, and all the different relays. Now up here on the very top of the machine you've got 2 lockdowns for the back bank of guns. If they're going to be left there for a long time and you do not want anyone to accidentally start rotating the handle and move them, you can lock down those 2 T-handles. There's one on each side, and that will keep the back row of guns from moving. The Acme thread will not be pushed, so if you're going to be moving anytime soon, you don't necessarily have to lock it down because it will not move on its own. It'll only move if someone turns the handle. But if you want to lock it so that someone can accidentally adjust that for you, then go ahead and lock those down. We'll go ahead and go around to the front and actually get started programming. Okay, I'm now going to show you here on the HMI some of the basic screens and functions of this. Now, this is the basic screen that it's going to power up in. Starting from top to bottom, you have transformer selection, the operator screen, gun selection, and the safety screen. Let's go ahead and start by going to the safety screen. I can just touch with my finger. I'll go to the safety screen itself. From top to bottom, we have SCR thermal number 1, thermal 2, 3, 4, 5, a water flow switch, which currently I have the water off, so the switch is red. Control side e-stop, which is green, which means it's in the up, ready to go position, and the left side e-stop, which is in the up, ready to go position. So right now, if I were to try to initiate the machine, nothing's going to happen. And if we'll go to the operator screen, you can see the failed safety in bright red. That light is on, which is telling me that one of the safety measures is not made or is not proper. So you can go to the safety screen, look and say, oh, we forgot to turn on the water. Turn on the water, that'll turn green, and then you're ready to run. Hit previous to go back to the previous screen you're at. We're back to the main screen. Next we'll go to the very top, which is transformer selection. Press it once. We'll go to this section. You can also use any other device. As far as the tip of a pen, I would recommend that you don't use the actual point of a ballpoint pen, but the back end works well. Coming across here you have transformer 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's spatially oriented the same on the machine. Transformer 1 is the first one on the right hand side, 2 is the next bank, 3, 4, and 5. If for instance you're welding on a part that requires only 4 transformers or 16 guns, you can just hit the switch, it goes to the off position, the green goes dark and the red comes on, and then select up here at the top, and you'll notice for one transformer, go to program 10, 2 transformer 20. We're going to select number 4, which tells us 4 transformers. Go to program 40 on the P280, which I'll show you in a moment, and change that, and then you're ready to start welding. If you want to shut off any of the others, current setup of the machine itself is that they're always going to be in linear order, which in other words, if transformer 3 is off, then only 1 and 2 will be on. So you'll want to actually deselect transformers 3, 4, and 5. It's just the way the machine is actually programmed, that we've never expected you to have a condition where you're going to have, say, 5 and 1 off and only use the 3 central transformers. It's possible to do, but it's not programmed that way. So if that is a scenario that you're going to need, please contact us, and then we'll have to see about coming in and actually reprogramming some of the PLC to accept that type of a scenario. But currently, if you're going to be welding with fewer than 5 transformers, just start shutting them off from 5, then 4, 3, 2, etc. down to just welding with these 4 guns closest to us. And once you've selected the appropriate number of transformers, hit the red button and choose how many transformers you've selected. So I've got all 5 on. I'm going to go to 5. So it's 5 transformers. Go to program 50 on the P280. I'm going to go ahead and hit previous here. Finally is the gun selection. These are set up the same way from left to right. This gun number 1 is the first pair of guns on the machine itself. Number 2 is the first pair on the back row. 3 is the second pair on the front row, and it just staggers back and forth. So this is the first pair of guns, front right hand side, and this is the last pair of guns on the back extreme left hand side. So if you want to shut off the, say, gun numbers 10 and 9, so you're only welding with 18 guns, that's going to shut off the outboard 2 pair of guns. So there's 4 guns that aren't going to come down at that point. That's going to shut off 1 transformer. If you just want to shut off the back set of guns, then you can just simply turn off number 10, and that one will shut off. Everything else will sequence appropriately. Finally, on the operator screen, this is where you're going to run most of the time. You've got a back gun switch and a front gun switch. This allows you to simply shut off either the back or the front, or have them both energized at the same time. So if you're welding a normal hat, where you're going to be welding on the front and the back side of a hat at the same time, you'll want both green. If you come to a scenario where you need only the front bank of guns to weld, you can just hit the back. You notice the switch goes to red. Now the back guns are off and the front guns are on. To turn it back on, simply strike the button. Now it's going to weld with both front and back. Strike the front. Now the front is off. It's only going to weld with the back. Also, here on the right hand side, you've got the left palm active. The default state is for it to work with only the control side palm button stand active. But if you have 2 operators on the machine, then you need to energize the left hand side palm button, and now both palm buttons have to be depressed for the machine to actually do a sequence. And then you have the failed safety illuminated to show us that we don't have water flow at this point. Now we'll go ahead and back up a little bit. You notice when I go to the transformer selection, it says 50 transformers, go to program 50. So now we're going to go up to the P280, and from here we're going to select program number 50. So I'll come up here, I'll hit 50, and now I'm on program 50. How we've orchestrated this is program 10 is if you're only going to be welding with 1 transformer. Programs 20 and 21 will work transformer 1 and transformer 2. Programs 30, 31, and 32 will do the first 3 transformers. 40 does 4 transformers, and 50 does 5. Now we'll go ahead and get set up, but now that I've changed it to 50, if I've already developed the weld program for my part, then it's ready to run at this point. We can go ahead and start running parts. If I need to develop a weld, keep in mind, program 50 is just for these first 4 guns. So I need to go to 51 for the next transformer, program 52 for the following transformer, 53, and 54 is the 5th transformer. So you can adjust the power for each one of those accordingly. We're going to go ahead and go